What's happening, everybody? And once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. And I'm your man, Big T, alongside my tag team partners. We got the doctor, the first lady, mama, the queen, all of that rolled up in one. TP, what's going on?
Blessings, everyone. Blessings.
I love that. Blessings, everyone. Then we got the man that brings the Ag swag to the show each and every week. We're talking about none other than Aggie P. Aggie P, what's going on?
Aggie Pride nationwide. Can we go to the Olympics, Big T?
Yeah. There you go. Aggie Pride. Oh, it's Tokyo wide now.
That's right, bro.
Hey, and then we got our man, the basketball guru, the legend. We talking about none other than Bro Mel is in the house. Bro Mel, what's going on?
Hey, glad to be back on the show, man. Exciting to see you guys again. Praise the Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to have you. And then we got Radar Charles, making sure we stay on track with the countdown and everything. Radar, what's going on?
Narrow is the way, Big T, when them Bucks come ready to play, sir.
Oh,
we ready.
man.
We ready.
Say them Bucks.
It's time to put a ring on it.
And then we got the Birdman is in the house, the Philadelphia Eagles fan. He's not a 76ers fan, though, so that's good. His boy's been gone. Lakers gone a couple of weeks ago. Bird, what's going on?
Yeah, throw shots all you want. Throw all mine.
Hey, Bird, it's nothing but love for you, man. Nothing but love. And together we're the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. And we start off like we always do with the hot topics. The hottest stories of sports may not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things that we want to talk about. And tonight we lead off with the NBA playoffs because right now it's scorching hot. That's the thing. And I'll tell you what, the theme of last week was blown leads because teams were blowing leads left and right. So the Bucks, Jokers blew an 18-point lead, lost game 5. But then, they bounced back and won game 6 and game 7. Went to Brooklyn and took down the Nets in game 7. And they did that behind 40 points from Giannis. Kevin Durant tried to hold them off, added 48 points, which is a game 7 playoff record, believe it or not. I thought at least somebody scored 50 or something, Jordan or somebody, but nope, never been done before. 48's a high, and there was no Kyrie. And James Harden was out there hobbled around, tried to give it a go, but he was no good. And Bucks trailed in the series 2-0 and came back and won that thing. We're seeing a lot of that, So, hey, any comments from the Tunnel Crew on what you saw with the Bucks and the Nets in that game? Like I said, they blew an 18-point lead, but they bounced back and won the rest of the games. Radar, you grinning from ear to ear, son.
I'm just proud of how Middleton stepped up. I'm proud of how Giannis changed his game to accommodate his team around him.
Right.
And Bro Mel can take it from there because I was just impressed of how he played within himself.
Yeah, I was impressed with how they played team ball, and everybody was a part of it. And like you said, you had different people stepping up, and that's what it takes. One person not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so they wore them down. They pretty much wore them down, and it was a great series, man. That's what you want. It was a great series.
Well, and like you said, Radar, Chris Middleton, he had 38 points, which was a playoff career high. So yes, in game 7. So he definitely showed up and came. I'm sorry, it was game 5 when he scored 30 points. He definitely showed up and came to play. Anybody else want to talk about the Bucks and Nets?
Man,
I want to talk about the Nets, Big T. Game 7. I mean, all year I've, been on them pretty hard, Durant and Kyrie and, who's going to take over as the leader, when adversity come, who's going to rally the guys. Hey, Durant showed me a little something.
He did.
He put the team on his back, man.
Yeah.
And those guys was exhausted, man, in that game 7. I love that game. I was saying to myself, I know they got IVs set up in the back for all of them. I mean, they could barely move, boy. It was epic. He showed me something, the talent that he is anyway. Yeah. But, hey, if those guys can keep those 3 and get Kyrie his what he needs without me saying anything.
But Durant, he's always, if you pretty much follow him, Durant has always been that way. When he was with Golden State, before he got to Golden State, man, he took over a game.
Yeah.
And when it's time for him to step up, he always stepped up.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Brother Mayor. Because he always with a good supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time he had to come out the locker room with the mentality of,
right.
I got to do this myself.
That's right. That's right.
And he did it. And also we don't know just how healthy, Durant is.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, nothing was said. So hey, hats off to Durant,
Yeah.
I wish Rooftop was over here. I would still say he ain't better than LeBron, but hey, but hats off to the guy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, the Clippers closed out the top seed Utah in 4. I mean, just pretty much took them down after they fell behind 2-0. Much like the Bucks, they came back and won 4 straight, and last I think 3 was without Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they took care of business without Kawhi Leonard in the lineup and advanced to their first conference finals ever. And once again, we said the theme of last week was blown leads. The Jazz blew 2 leads, I think 2 18-point games, I believe. One game where they were up by 25 points and blew it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what's up with all the blown leads in the playoffs, but so and also Chris Paul didn't play because he tested positive for COVID, so he's still out with COVID and everything. So it was an interesting series there. Any comments on the Clippers taking care of the Jazz? And I'm sorry, I jumped ahead to when the Clippers faced the Suns there, but I
was sort of disappointed in the Jazz. I thought Jazz would have played a lot better than what they played. The Clippers, man, Clippers are just a scrapping team. They just a scrapping team, man. And they just showed it. It wasn't one person. Different people stepped up.
Yeah.
Great defense. But the Jazz really, they really disappointed me. In having a 2-0 lead and then just like.
Hey, the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And both number 1 seeds out. That's the first time since I think they said 80 something, I believe. That both number 1 seeds didn't make it to the conference championship. Because the NBA is top heavy. So you very seldom see both number 1 seeds get knocked out before the conference finals. So,
well, I think you have to look at this, put this in perspective as well as that. Look how short a period of time that they came back from the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's a wear and tear on you, man.
Yeah.
You only take another month off and then a month and a half off, then get back into it.
Yeah.
Man, there's some tired legs, man. They become mental. When it become mental, then the ones that has a strong, mindset is gonna, take over because that body gonna it's gonna shut down sooner or later.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, anybody else got any thoughts on the number 1 seed Jazz they didn't get swept out. They start off 2-up, but eventually got swept on out of there.
I wasn't going to comment on the Jazz, but I was going to agree with Bro Mel. I was going to say, I just feel like with injuries and COVID and everything that's happening, I really think they just need a big rest.
Yeah.
Just overall, even the series, I like when we have different teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I really do. I feel like, okay, who's really dominant instead of the same team winning over and over. If you're going to win over and over, then after a while, people get a little bored. They know you can do it, but I like the mix up.
Yeah. Well, hey, like I said, Phoenix, they took care of business winning a sweep. We talked about that last week. They faced the Clippers in the first game of West Conference Finals on Sunday, and they took care of business. Devin Booker is the truth. I know Birdman don't like him, but he's the truth. And they did it without CP3. Like we said, he tested positive for COVID. He's still out. So that series is underway, and we'll have to see what happens tonight when they play. I believe game 2 is tonight. So we'll have to see what happens tonight.
Phoenix got a balanced team, man.
Yeah, they do.
They got a balanced team. You got 5 or 6 players stepping up. It ain't one player, man. They play team ball and they play some defense too.
That's
and
right.
they got a 9-man rotation.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen up, y'all. We're up against the first break. We hope you're enjoying it so far. When we come back, there's more of the hot topics. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Be sure to catch this live at home version of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And you can do that on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And once you're there, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it, and tune in every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to catch us live. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. And you can do that on WLJFradio.com. You can also download the WLJF app. It's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. And we really appreciate you checking it out every week. Tuesday nights on YouTube at 7 p.m. Thursday nights on WLJFradio.com at 7 p.m. All right, let's get back to the hot topics. And we're going to close out the NBA playoff talk right quick, portion of the hot topics. So I mentioned all the blown leads, and we said that was a theme of last week. Well, it continued with the 76ers because they lost in 7 to the Hawks, which was an upset. The Hawks, I think, were a 5 seed, and they knocked off the number 1 seeded 76ers, and Sixers blew 2 18-point leads and one game where they were up by 26 and blew that. And then blowing those two 18-point leads, they became the first team in 25 years to do that. And that was the 3rd biggest playoff comeback in the last 25 years, the 26-point lead that they blew. And so the man, Ben Simmons, is catching all kinds of flack, catching all kinds of heat. And he is going to be the subject of our question of the day. So we're going to hold off on blistering him right now. We don't want to cut into the content of the question of the day, but just know this: Ben Simmons disappeared. A lot of people saying he didn't show up, scared to shoot and all that stuff. So we'll get into that in our question of the day segment. But as for right now, anybody got any thoughts on the series in general? 76ers Hawks.
I think this is a marking of a changing of the guard. I think these young teams are getting ready to step up and take over. Mark my words. This is not an omen. These injuries, you can think that way, but I'm telling you, these young guys are coming to play and they're working these older guys, and they can't be out partying. They got to start staying in this gym. Bottom line. Yeah. Partying.
They be in the club.
All these young dudes partying. And then when it comes time to play, oh, my ankle hurt. I got a hyperextended leg, or I got a personal reason.
So
Stop it.
Can't make it rain. Can't keep on making it rain.
You can't keep making it rain and you ain't practicing. Come on, man. Harden, yes, sir. You on the list. Kyrie, you on the list. Mr. Hiatus for a couple of weeks. And then come back ready to cook. And you got the nerve to tell somebody, don't say nothing to me offensive when I'm playing at Boston. Stop it, man. Play ball. Ain't nobody worried about you.
Radar, hey, you're hard on the old heads.
They got to stay ready.
Yeah.
You know better than most. If you see a young buck like me coming out there, you gonna tighten up. You
got a point there. You got a point there. I do see a lot of younger players, 1 or 2 year players stepping up a lot more.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid of the big lights.
Yeah.
Because most of them come out of big programs anyway.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of players I've seen during the playoffs just stepped up, man.
Yep.
Rookies, and of course, the older players going to take the lead, take it where it needs to go. But you got to respect the younger players that's going to come in behind it. Which you got some guys, Atlanta's pretty young. You got to look at them. They're pretty young.
Atlanta got that swag. Clint Capella, man, that junk he talked in the last series, that's what made me take notice of them. I was like, man, these jokers got some swag, boy. They ain't backing down.
Well, and then the thing is with that too, Big T, is that they playing more as a team. It's not a one-on-one type thing. They playing as a team, but they know who their go-to man is.
Yeah,
and Atlanta is scary too.
They are.
You let Greek Freak keep shooting that three. I'm sorry, Radar. You better put him under the goal. Let him operate. Atlanta is sneaky, man.
Hey, and they got the closer, because Trey struggled for 3 quarters in Game 7, and then in the 4th he went off.
Yeah,
there's the closer.
Well, they got 2 other shooters too. You got to give them respect.
Yeah.
You got 2 other shooters. Them boys get hot, man.
It was hard for me to make that pick this morning, Big T.
It was hard.
Well, Aggie P, I'm going with the Bucks too, because if they take it inside, there's nothing Atlanta can do.
Right.
Exactly.
There's nothing Atlanta can do because, it's a man against boys, when it comes to that. And then you got a little bit more experience with the Bucks anyway, even though Atlanta's young, I'm not going to, it's not going to be no 4-0 sweep, I'll tell you that.
No, I don't think so.
But,
Game 7 to be electric.
Yeah, that would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Man.
Hey, especially now that they got the place packed with fans,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, TP will appreciate this because I got a couple of fast facts here, and this ties into something that you were saying not too long ago, talking about you like new teams and fresh blood and everything. Well, this conference finals is full of fresh blood because when you look at the 4 teams that are in there, you got the Suns, and we're talking about the last time these 4 teams won a championship. All right, Suns have never won a championship. Okay, Clippers have never made it this far. This is their first time making it to the Western Conference Finals, so we know they've never won a championship. The Hawks were in a different city last time they won a championship, and that was all the way back in 1958. The Bucks, last time they won a championship was 71 with Kareem. You know what I'm saying? So 71. So think about that. The 4 teams that are in the finals, the last time one of them won a championship, 2 of them never won, and the last time one of them won was 1971. So yes, this is fresh blood, TP. This is exactly what you were talking about. This is exactly what we want. But this is the coolest thing as far as the fast facts, y'all. 3 out of the 4 head coaches are black.
Ooh.
3 out of the 4 head coaches in the final. Now check this out. We only got 7 brothers in the league.
Right.
30 teams and 7 brothers coaching team, head coaching. 3 of those guys are in the final 4. That's big, y'all. That's big.
That's huge.
Real big. Yeah.
That's huge.
Well,
and 4 teams that have been ages since they shown up in the finals.
Yep.
Look at Kansas City, what they did a couple of years ago. Come on now.
Yep.
Are you reading the writing on the wall?
Yeah.
Because again, LeBron had 9-10 straight runs. It's over. It's time for these new guys to come in. They smell the blood in the water. And I'm telling you, Giannis is going to get 3. Giannis is going to get 3. And LeBron going to be like this.
Man bouncing.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all.
Believe it or not, I was going to kind of agree with Radar.
Yeah.
Just like what you said, I'm looking for some fresh blood myself. Now, I ain't going against the old heads, but I'm getting a little bored with them myself. So
yeah, this is exciting, you know.
Hey, man.
But I'm gonna be honest, I'm just kind of missing that. I'm kind of missing that Kobe drive. Like Kobe came out and it was just like that. It was just a player you just wanted to see every night. I'm missing.
Yeah.
But you know,
And if I
now
may say this,
you get a chance to see a player that you never seen before. That's what you're seeing now.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm gonna tell you, you need to give your props out to Nate McMillan. When you come in halfway through the season, and then you take that team to where they going at, that's coaching, man.
Weren't they in last place when he took over?
About halfway through the season,
or near last place, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you look at Devin Booker, the way he showed out in game 1.
Yeah.
18 points in 1 quarter. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not saying this because I watched that game.
Yeah.
It was like Kobe was talking to your boy Devin because he was coming down, lighting them up, not threes, J's, running off of picks, reverse layups. I said, who is he talking to over there? It was the mom. I'm telling you, man.
He was in the zone right on.
Yeah, he absolutely was.
That third and fourth quarter, man, he was. Whew.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. What Broke was saying, I think it comes down to, you know, I don't want to see a whole bunch of the threes. That's great every now and then, but I think it's really the fundamentals.
That's right.
And really, what are you doing? Kind of that flair with the fundamentals. I don't mean like, okay, I'm just gracefully throwing the ball in, but what I mean is those moves, those hard areas where you may have 2 blockers on you, but yet you're able to get out. And then you're able to, you know, get right there into the paint and just shoot it.
Yeah,
you know? That's what I'm really Y'all are right.
We're gonna move on from the NBA because I got a couple of things I got to blow through right quick. Big news came out yesterday. Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Carl Nassib became the first active NFL player to reveal that he is gay. He posted an Instagram video, and the thing that just got me is how nonchalant he was about it. What's up, people? You know, I'm Carl Nassib, and I just wanted to, you know, take this quick moment to say I'm gay. And so he became the first player to official player, because we know Michael Sam got drafted back in 2014, but he never played an official snap for an NFL team because he didn't make it out of the preseason. So that news came down yesterday, and moving on, a couple of Aggies, couple of A&T Aggies. We talked last week about Aggie track, and they showed out again up there in Eugene, Oregon. Trevor Stewart, senior Aggie, and Randolph Ross, who's a sophomore, they both finished in the top 4 of the men's 400-meter finals at the Olympic trials. And that was enough to qualify them for the 4x400 in Tokyo, Japan, the Tokyo Olympics.
I gotta find a napkin for Radar because he's pulling out of all what the Aggies is doing. Hold on, here you go. Let me wipe that because you drew.
Wipe him down. Wipe him down.
Bro, Mel, I started dry heaving over here.
So hey, I'm gonna hand it over to you, Aggies. What are y'all thoughts on the guys getting it done?
I mean, what can we say, Big T? I mean, that's what we do. I mean, that's what we do. No, on a serious tip, man, look, congratulations to them guys.
Yeah.
And it just make me proud to just be looking at TV and see that A&T coming around the track and winning and everything, man. It's good for track. It's good for university. It's good for the HBCUs. I mean, it's just overwhelmingly good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very proud of them guys. And one of our own, I saw her run last night. She was trying out.
Kayla White, yeah.
Kayla White was in they said North Carolina in the 100. I was like, hey, I remember her, you know. And man, it's just good all around, Big T. I'm not going to take up too much time because everybody know how I feel about my Aggies. But hey, man, just a good feeling to see that.
That's all right. Hey, and one thing to think about too, they said that Tokyo announced they're allowing families to come and everything. So the families will be able to travel over there and cheer the guys on. So that's
Wow.
Man,
pretty awesome.
I was impressed. I was impressed with Ross. I listened to him, and I think it tells young people what you look for when you go to a school.
Yeah.
And he looked at the growth of of the track players from one year to the next,
Yeah.
and he realized they increased their time, they decreased their time, and that's where, even though his dad was the coach at A&T, but that drew him to A&T. And from there, he felt like he's going to grow and get, even better, which he did. He's a sophomore. And, I seen that one I think it was a semifinal heat in the national NCAA. And man, he walked that one guy down, man. I'm like, man, I just, and so from that point on, man, I sort of just stuck with it. And, sort of follow those guys, man. It's good to just see, not only HBCU, but, see a local, person, go and just achieve.
Yeah.
And you go anywhere. He could have went anywhere. He was one of the biggest ones, and he decided to come to A&T. So
that's huge.
Hey, man, and they're strong. They're young.
They're one of the best track programs in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
And people,
if we can get us some long distance runners and a couple shot putters to get us some more points, we might win this thing nationally, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I might just go on to recruiting. We need us some 2 milers, TP.
I mean, I'm just ecstatic. I mean, I know that they're going to Tokyo, but Cambria, as you know, she was my student before. And then, now that we're talking about, Ross going to the Olympics, I mean, the whole team really, because the other player, the other runner, he's running for Mexico, and then the other one is running for Liberia. But it's the point that A&T has him.
Yeah, that's right.
A&T has him.
That's right.
And I'm gonna be honest, we have been putting out the call for HBCUs, and I have to give it to Deion Sanders as well. He's been putting out that call for HBCUs. And now, like Bro Mill said, we ran them down. I mean, shoot. Notice I said ran them down. This is really putting HBCUs on the map.
Definitely.
Really do.
Well, speaking of HBCUs, not to get off these Aggies or nothing like that, but anywho, the Bill Ricketts PBR Invitational Rodeo took place on this Saturday. They televised it. It was a great event. We had minorities everywhere. We had Hispanics. It was great. It was an awesome event. You know what? And I didn't see any Aggies there. I didn't see any Aggies graduates there. Just so you know.
You weren't there either.
I was watching. I was supporting.
I need a mute button so somebody can mute right off. Aggie P.
Yes,
tell
sir.
Us about the U.S. Open. We got about 2 minutes. Tell us about the
U.S. Open in Torrey Pines. I know my man Rooftop like to know the purse. The purse was $12 million. First place was $2.5 million. Okay, I got a great story, man. I'm gonna try to get it in quick. The winner of the U.S. Open was John Rahm Rodriguez. Okay, 2 weeks ago, this same guy was playing in the Memorial Open. And he had finished up his third round. He was leading by 6 strokes. And when he came off the 18th tee, the PGA officials went up and told him that he's going to have to forfeit his 4th round because he just tested positive for COVID. Now, he had been in protocol all week, tested negative, but he was leading by 6 strokes, and he would have went ahead and won the Memorial Open because he's a great player. Okay, let's fast forward to the U.S. Open. Hey, the back 9 on U.S. Open, it was tied. You had all the big dogs up top. And Rahm shot 2 birdies on the last 2 holes that put him ahead by a stroke, and he ended up winning it. So 2 weeks ago, he was disappointed. Probably lost out on millions. Then he stepped up, got on the back 9, hit 2 birdies, and won the U.S. Open, which is a major, and it was his first major. So Big T, I mean, I'm like, man, what a story.
It is.
Because when they walked out and told that guy after he finished on the 18th hole, I mean, just like he just kind of like collapsed almost.
Yeah.
He knew, you know.
Well, and he handled it with
great story there.
class.
He won it. Yeah.
He handled it with a lot of class too.
He did. He did.
All right. Well, listen up, everybody. Be sure to catch this live at home edition of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Go to YouTube and tune in to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Once you're there, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Catch us every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the original audio version of the show on WLJFradio.com. You can also catch it on the 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes Store. When we come back, question of the day.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
100.7 WLJF.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. And you can catch this live at home edition of the show every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on YouTube at the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Go there, click on the show, check it out, watch the Tunnel Crew, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends about it. That's every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And then on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. And you can catch that Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on WLJFradio.com. You can also download the WLJF app. It's available both on the Google Play and in the iTunes Store. And that's Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So catch both versions of the show each and every week. All right. Let me wrap up a few things for the hot topics before we get into our question of the day. NC State baseball. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
We talked about them last week, getting things done and moving on to this point, and they have continued to surprise people. So in game one, they took down Stanford 10-4. Now, remember, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but at one point, NC State was not even going to make the tournament during the season, and they have caught fire as of late. Like I said, took Stanford down 10-4, and then they took down the defending national champion Vanderbilt, and that was yesterday. Beat them 1-0. Basically got a home run off of the man that all we've been hearing about all day is Jack Leiter. The thing that's got me is I'm like, every time I turn something on, all I'm hearing about is Jack Leiter. I said, the guy lost. I mean, he lost to State. And I understand he went 8 innings, had 15 strikeouts, only gave up 1 earned run, which was that home run, but he lost, and it's like people are talking about him more than they talking about State, So congratulations, State. They just need to win one more game and they'll be in the championship series, which is a best out of 3. So go Pack. I normally don't say this, but go Pack, we'll give it to them. And they became the first team ever to beat the number 1 team in the country, which they did when they beat, I believe it was Mississippi last week, and then the national champions in the same tournament. That's happened 4 times where teams have faced those two, but they're the first team to actually beat both of them. So they're clicking right now. You got to give them credit. Tennis. Naomi Osaka withdrew from Wimbledon. Remember, she withdrew from French Open last month. She cited personal issues and wanted to spend more time with her family. But she did announce, she said, I'm looking forward, though, to being able to compete for my home country in front of my home fans in the Tokyo Olympics, because, you know, she's a Japanese citizen. So there you go. And our guy, Rod Brindamore, Carolina Hurricanes head coach, signed a new 3-year deal. Remember, he had everybody nervous that he might be leaving. A lot of teams are coming after him. He signed a 3-year deal. And then the next day won the NHL's Coach of the Year award. So it's a big week for Rod. All this happened in the last 4 days. So give it up to him. Congratulations to him. All right. We talked about Ben Simmons earlier and the 76ers and how Ben, you know, really came up small. And we said we were going to save the heat for the question of the day because we wanted to get into it a little bit more intimately. So question of the day is this: should we feel sorry for Ben Simmons? You know, because there's a lot of people that look at, because he's catching all kind of heat. I mean, for those listeners who don't know, I mean, you can't turn on anything this week since the 76ers lost to the Hawks without seeing him getting trashed. I mean, they killing him over, you know, he had the wide open layup or dunk and he passed it to a guy instead of taking it, you know, in basically in the 7-game series, 5 out of the 7 games, he didn't even put up a shot in the fourth quarter. He was 0 for 0 in the fourth quarter in 5 out of the 7 games. In this final game, game 7, he scored 5 points on 4 shot attempts. And in the game, the entire game, 5 points. I think he had 13 rebounds and 8 assists. And people are saying you can't get it done if you're the number 2 guy and you're only giving us 5 points. So he's been getting destroyed. Shaq on TNT was like, you know, I don't want to hear all this. He's going to get better. And you've had 7 years to get better. You know, he said, Shaq said, if nothing else, just be aggressive. He said, that's all I'm asking. Mm-hmm. I'm just asking you to at least put up shots and be aggressive. And then he made a controversial statement when he said if he was on my team, if he was one of my teammates, I would have knocked his you-know-what out. So we're going to hand it off to the Tunnel Crew. Do you think we should feel sorry for Ben Simmons, or do you say, nah, man, he's making millions, shut up and play?
Yes and no, because when you hold yourself, and I like some of these young players, but when you hold yourself to a certain standard and people outside of your teammates hold you to a certain standard, like they're comparing him to LeBron. Okay, well, LeBron's been there, done that in the playoffs. But when you hold yourself to a standard, if you're gonna be compared to him, you need to go out there and hold yourself as a player and hold yourself accountable and play and show them that, hey, not only do you compare me to LeBron, I'm better than LeBron. Same thing with the Devin Booker situation. It's kind of like that situation, but the difference is Devin Booker actually went out there and played. Ben Simmons, he didn't really show me much in this series as much as I thought he would. I was looking at one of the games. I'm like, what are you doing? You have a wide open shot and you're not taking it.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's like a yes and no.
Yeah. Situation. Well, and real quick, I'm going to throw this in there. The guy shot, I think he was shooting like 70-something% in the playoffs 4 years ago from the free throw line. I'm talking 38% in the playoffs from the free throw line this year. I mean, what happened? You know, I mean, it's like the guy is terrified to shoot the ball now. He's scared to death to put up a shot.
What I see in this is that, first of all, it is, Birdman, it's a yes and a no. You know, it's a responsibility goes his way on how he's working, how he's, you know, developing his game. Mm-hmm. And evidently you see that he haven't, first and foremost. Not the, you know, I'm saying he haven't in the way that he haven't had the confidence enough to know what he's been doing the last, few years to get on where he was at, all of a sudden stop. You said from 70% to 30-some%, you ain't been shooting no free throws. You haven't been working on your free throws.
Yeah.
Yes, we know he can't shoot jump shots, but what is the aggressiveness that you've been seeing? You didn't even see that.
Yeah.
But you know what else I blame? I blame the coach too.
Mm.
I blame the coach because he knew what he had, and instead of him telling him to go to the basket, take the ball to the basket, you didn't say anything. And just keep this in mind, Doc Rivers, he just now tied the longest losing streak in 7-game history in the NBA, with Rick Adelman. I think Rick Adelman lost 4 straight seven-game series.
Yeah.
So that tells you right there that, he don't coach well in a 7 game.
Yeah.
He don't make the right moves in the 7 game, because after that was the 5th or 6th game they played and they started hacker-shacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that? Hey, he wouldn't have been in there for me. I just said, hey, son, we're trying to win the game. Forget your feelings,
Yeah.
But, something goes on him too, man. He's a professional. That's what you do. That's all you're supposed to do. Work on your game, elevate your game. It don't seem like he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bromell just said a mouthful right there. I mean, it's like he's already saying Doc Rivers is not a closer. How do you expect for him to be a closer? If he's the coach, he should have already known all of this because he can't coach his player to be on the next level, to be a closer. And so when you're not a closer, people are going to get on you for not doing what you need to do in the game, when really they got to go back to look at the coach. Now, the coach had told him, listen, this is some things you should do because you are professional. Professionals, I mean, we're always growing, but he's not a closer. To me, that's what it shows. You're not a closer when it comes down to the heat. We can't give you the ball. You're not ready for it yet. And you might not be ready because you might not have the proper coaching. That's a different perspective on it to really look at. So, I mean, and he was like, you're not prepared. I mean, bro, man was in it. I mean, you got me passionate about it. I mean, he's right. He's
hey,
right.
when you at the biggest level that you can get at, hey, nobody can't make you go out there and do what you're getting paid to do.
That's right.
And then the thing is too, you can't put all the blame on him. That's one person.
Yeah.
That's one person. Yeah, he played a major role in it. Don't get me wrong. But there's some other parts that played in that too for Philadelphia that caused them to lose that game as well.
Yeah.
And the major thing is the coaching. People don't want to say it, but the coaching is the major part of that too.
Well, and what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna piggyback on one thing Bromell said. To go back to you talking about Doc Rivers, we know Ben Simmons is gonna catch heat no matter what. I mean, especially being in Philly. Because Philly fans are brutal. They're not going to let anything slide. And so, we knew he was going to catch heat, but Doc Rivers actually, the fire was already there. And Doc Rivers walked over and poured a little gas on it and then threw a couple of logs on it when they asked him, you think he can win you can win a championship with Ben Simmons? And his answer was, well, I don't know the answer to that, And Bromell, we talked about it in pre-show, which you said, a better answer would have been one man can't win it by himself. He certainly needs to get better, but everybody needs to get better. That would have been, and I bet you Doc this week has been kicking himself saying, man, if I had it to do over, I would have said something different. Aggie P, go ahead, man.
Yes, sir. I just believe that it's on Ben Simmons. You said something earlier when you was talking about the question and setting up the question. You mentioned a key word called confidence.
Yeah.
I don't care if you play baseball on a professional level, basketball, football. Those athletes have confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, college level. We talked about it before. Somewhere down the line, this guy lost his confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw open dunks. He should have. The guy is what, 6 what?
He's
6'10".
Yeah. And he was passing about, come on, bro. You get in that paint, you bring the house down.
Hey, Aggie P, let me share this with you. But when you get on that big stage, it's bigger than what people think it is. And he was on the big stage, and he just like that confidence went straight down the drain, man.
It's gone, but we've seen him do it before, though. That's what I'm saying. We know it's in him, but I don't know. It just seemed to freeze up. I know we talk about that all the time, like the kids coming out of high school to college, the big lights. Yeah. Everybody's not ready, but this guy's been playing in the NBA, and he should. I mean, I put all the. If me and him was talking one-on-one, having a talk, Doc Rivers just a coach.
Yeah,
you got to go and perform.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to have that confidence to go. Like Shaq said, hey, if you're not known as a great 3-ball shooter, be aggressive.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Take the ball to street ball. Hey, we all know. Take the ball to the rack.
So Aggie P, you take this. I'm hearing what you say. So you got to look and say, okay, who is the lead on that team then?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you was the lead on that team, like you said, I would have pulled them to the side. Come on, man. Hey, do what you do. You build this confidence up, man. Do what you do. Take it to the hole.
Too little, too late, bro, Mel.
Right.
Well, and I was saying, the guy that's supposed to be the leader, Joel Embiid, was trashing him too.
And really, to be honest with you, he can't talk neither. You the biggest thing out there. You shooting threes. You should be in the paint, man.
With a 50% back.
Right.
I mean, it's better to do a layup than try to shoot that three.
Right.
But he's the #1 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
You came out early. I got to blame this dude for everything. Because again, you came in here #1.
Wow.
You came overall, all of the comparisons. And pardon me, Aggie P, I've never seen this dude show up. I don't count regular season. I don't count preseason, summer ball. When the playoffs are on the line and it's a game 6, game 7, let me see how you act under pressure. I've never seen this brother act well under pressure.
And you're right, and that's where the confidence come in. Like Aggie P said, that's where your confidence. Man, I've been in games where I have teammates, man, on the free throw line 2 seconds to go, and they're shaking.
Yeah.
This college ball, they are shaking, man. So if you don't have confidence in to be able to go in there and step up and shoot, you got to work on those things, man. But it's all up top, man. That's most of the time you get to that level. It's up top, man. That mental thing.
Well, the one thing about him, he's a unicorn in that he's a 6'10". They call him a point guard, but he's more of a point forward. A 6'10", and it's like, what do you do with that? I mean, we know he's got some ability, some ball handling skills, this, that, and the other. I would probably try to build his confidence up. I say, look, you need to work on your shooting. You definitely need to get in the gym. But he's been doing that because that's all they talked about during the offseason. They showed the video of him making, 5 or 6 threes in a row. And he's getting better. So that tells me he's been doing it. So I would say, okay, look, you got to continue to work on the shot, but we're going to try to find another way to make sure that you're a part of this team when we need you the most. Whether that is backing guys down, like Aggie P said, taking advantage of your height, we definitely got to, like Shaq said, we definitely got to see more aggressiveness out of you, though. You can't be scared to shoot,
Big T. Anybody can make threes when you ain't got nobody on them.
Right. That's like me going to the driving range.
Thank you.
But when you get on that court and it's 25,000 people, 50,000 people.
You talking me to death.
That's a totally different atmosphere, buddy.
I wish he would hold out on me. I send him to the G League. See, all y'all playing soft serve. I'll send him to the G League. See if he love the game then. Watch. If he don't play ball, there you go. There go the door. We just wasted the pick. I'll take the L.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Radar got a point because when you don't, they do send you to the G League.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he too good?
Remember, I used to work for the G League. It used to be called the D League before G League. So he's right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it sounds like the Tunnel Crew. I mean, I know we had a couple of yes and no's, but it sounds like it's overwhelmingly. We shouldn't feel sorry for him. I mean,
I don't. You know, I don't.
I don't feel sorry for him neither. I'm saying you're a professional. That's your job.
Yeah.
You work on your craft. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is, man. You haven't shot free throws. You haven't made free throws.
Yeah. I think if it was me and I was in his position, I had his skill set and his talent, I would do something else until the shot came. I mean, I would drive to the basket. I would play. People would look at the highlights and say, well, he only scored 6 points. But boy, he locked down his guy. He grabbed 12 rebounds. He gave out 10 assists. He made his presence known a whole lot of other ways because we know he can't shoot, you know.
He like posting on Instagram and taking pictures. Let him be a model and shut that down, bro. He's done, man.
Hey, everybody, make sure you catch this live at home edition every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and then catch the original audio version of the show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And you can do that on WLJFradio.com or on the app, which is available both on Google Play and the iTunes Store. And that's the 100.7 WLJF app. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the tunnel crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover, and it's going to be a real quick, we're going to have a lot of time, y'all, to do our shout-outs and all that stuff, because it's going to be real quick on the picks tonight. But before we go into that, got a couple of loose ends to tie up here. Today, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously in favor of student athletes 9-0. On ESPN, they referred to it as a blowout loss for the NCAA. 9-0 in favor of student athletes to receive educational related compensation. Benefits include, laptops and tutoring and instruments and, graduate school tuition and all that stuff, So I'm surprised they weren't already able to receive that kind of stuff, but they said they approved for them to have that. And Justice Kavanaugh, he made a statement that I can't read the entire statement because it was blistering. If you get a chance, go read what he said. But the gist of it was what the NCAA has been doing, this would not, he said this would be illegal under any other business model. If any other business or company or anything was trying to do this, this would be a total violation of antitrust laws, making people work and putting limits on the things they can receive and the benefits they can get from their work. He said there's no way this will hold up anywhere else. So he said basically it was like he was saying, shame on you, NCAA. So that's that story that came out yesterday, and I heard Jay Billis earlier today talking about it, and he said the problem here is they had kind of won at the lower level court, but they got greedy. They wanted more. And so they took it to the Supreme Court, and he said they got spanked at the Supreme Court, So they probably wish they would have just took the L at the next level and And because they said in the lower level, they gave them a lot more than they got in this ruling. This ruling made the Supreme Court take a more extensive look at it and said, y'all getting over. So, so there you have it.
Big T.
Yeah.
Real quick, somebody can please help me. I'm a little confused with that. If you are a scholarship player, you're already receiving what you're talking about. So, I mean, Tunnel Crew, TP, Brother Mel, Birdman, Ray, help me. I mean, I'm confused with that.
I
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what it is, they said, now correct me if I'm wrong, I heard somewhere where they said there's like a limit on like a $5,000 limit on how much they can get. So yeah, they can get some of that stuff, but after $5,000, you're cut off. And so as you know, $5,000 ain't gonna pay for a graduate tuition and all that stuff, you know.
Okay.
So that's, I think it was basically about the amount of things that they can receive, because, you know, and it may be different for every school. I heard the number was 5,000. There may be some schools where it's only 3,000 or something like that, you know. So
I'm about like Aggie. That's sort of hard to grasp there, because they're getting a lot of that stuff anyway. You know, the bigger schools now, I can't. You know, the smaller schools may love it, but you know, the power conferences, man, they getting more than that already.
Well,
and if they're looking at what they provide per student.
Yeah.
So like if I was to say, hey, we have 500 students in our program. Overall, this is what they get. So that's what I'm wondering when it comes to that final line. So like if you have alumnus or something that want to give, what kind of services and how many hours and all of that. That's the only thing I can really think about of how that would come down.
Well, and the biggest thing about it is they said it opens the door up for, because this ruling becomes a precedent. So it opens the door up for anytime the NCAA tries to do anything, because the court basically used you can't hinder or put a limit on what somebody is trying to receive as a result of their work or whatever. And so they said that's going to open the door up for basically all kinds of lawsuits when the NCAA tries to limit and put stops on certain things. They're gonna take them to court, and then they're gonna refer to this. And Jay Billis basically said the NCAA is gonna lose every one of them because of this ruling. So
if someone asked for an itemized bill, you couldn't do it.
Yeah. So, hey, and then one last thing, Kellen Winslow Jr. was sentenced to 14 years in prison. He basically pled guilty to all of those rape and sexual misconduct charges and everything. He was going to fight it, but then, you know, God must have got a hold to him, because he came back and said, I'm going to enter a plea of guilty. And so he's gone to jail for 14 years. Man, that's a waste, man. That guy, talented guy, man. But
yeah, he was.
Couldn't control himself. All right, real quick with the results from last week. Bro Mel, Orangeman, and TP were the winners. Y'all all went 3-1. And now check this out. You would have had someone joining you. You would have had Radar joining you, but he changed 2 picks. No, I'm sorry. He wouldn't have joined you. He would have went 2-2, but he changed 2 picks and ended up going 0-4. I told you stick with.
Told you not to change on the air too.
And then Birdman, same thing. He would have joined you. Birdman would have been 3-1, but he changed his Hawks pick, man, and so he ended up going 2-2. So Aggie P, Bird, and Stats all went 2-2. Y'all notice I was trying to talk that out and everything because I went 1-3. So it was a bad week for me. Standings look like this. I got 90 wins, Bird 80 wins, Radar 79 wins, Aggie P 76 wins, Stats 75, TP 69, Bro Mel 63, and Orangeman 20. All right, we've only got 1 pick this week. It was the NBA Finals pick, and man, this shocked me. I didn't think this was going to happen, but the entire Tunnel crew went with Bucks versus Suns. We basically said whatever the record is, that's going to be your record. So if the Bucks go 4-3 and the Suns go 4-0, then you're going to be 8-3. And our standings aren't going to change because everybody's going to get the same record. So, man, I didn't think everybody would pick the same thing.
You know what? Audible. I'm about to pull audible.
I was close.
Audible.
Don't do it.
Hawks against the Suns right now. Audible, sir. Audible.
He ain't learned his lesson.
Right on. That might be the game changer though.
It's
that Atlanta swag.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Giannis might have to put it up, man. He might have to go Luau Cinder on him.
Oh, man. All right, everybody. Listen, that's all we have time for tonight. For the Queen, for Aggie, for Birdman, for Radar, for Bromel, I'm your man, Big T. Sign off and saying, no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be you.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.